Hello. Let's try out another effect. I think they call this one cotton candy. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Remember, it's just a body. It's not what you are, it's not what I am. If I had to choose an ethnicity of music to prefer, it would be Asian. So we have some of that in the background. Some lovely Chinese music. I'm in a strange space. Um, Once again, and as usual, almost, someplace I haven't been before. It's different, and I don't know if I'll be able to transmit it on to you, but be in heart, you have the best chance from there. Um, Speaking of heart, everyone knows what a toroid or a toroidal field looks like because everyone's eaten a donut. And that's the shape of the field. Now, the field has moving energy in it, not the seeming solid substance of a donut. But anyway, as far as the bioelectric or magnetic field that we create or exist within, the heart puts out the most energy, creates the largest field. And so if you could imagine on a level with your heart, a huge toroid, a huge field of energy, moving energy, flowing energy, in the shape of a donut, if you will. And you are that. Such that if you close your eyes, you have immediately unplugged from a whole level of stimulus. And if you center roughly in the area of the heart, you may begin to tune in to this huge field that exists around the body. Wherever you go, this goes with you. It's a part of you. It's as much you as the body is. But when we identify with the body, we get used to that, and it becomes a belief. And like a good, obedient subconscious mind, all other possibilities are cut off. We are shielded from other possibilities when we hold certain beliefs. So, by letting go of body identity and centering in heart, we can maximize our ability to be in the field, to sense it. So that if you open your eyes and look around you, you're present in all that you see. Now imagine, or I'll just do it where I am. As I look out, I'm in a house, about 2,000 square feet, in the woods. Not deep, dense woods. I can see through the trees in front of me. It gets dense behind. It's a pine woods with maple and oak and different things. Okay, so that's what I see. But it's more than what I see, because if I close my eyes, I can become aware of my field intersecting the trees. I am already there. Now, this particular field is measurable. Most of our scientific equipment isn't able to measure the full extent of the field because it's not expecting such a big field. And so, within the limits and ranges of its ability, it can measure this field. It's a magnetic field. And of course, if you have magnetism, you know, it's bioelectric. All right, so in my field, I have a favorite tree. It's not within my line of vision now, but I know right where it is. It's on the right side of the house as I sit here, as the body sits here. And so as I send a warm thought and caress to the tree, gratitude for the beauty of its being, maybe it helps for me to realize that my energy and the tree's energy literally interpenetrate. And so it's more than just a thought. What is a thought, my friends? Isn't it energy? Doesn't everything equate to energy? So perhaps as we begin to sense ourselves more as energy beings, we can be open to new things, new perceptions, awarenesses, abilities. A number of days ago, I mentioned waking up with a silent mind. Now, I'm still in a space like that. And in the quiet of it, there's an underlying contentment, such that one has no need to get up and do, or to think, or to explore, or to be active in any way. One just is. And in the isness of the moment, there can be that quietness of being that lets you tune in to your guides, to the light beings that work with you, perhaps to the elementals in your field there, your force field. We are rising in frequency, and as we do so, this is very much in support of our being able to tune in to these higher frequencies. That's some of what we're doing. The energy of the toroidal field vibrates at a higher frequency than the energy of the arm, of the leg, of the physical matter. And the angelic ones vibrate yet higher. Often they lower their frequency in order to communicate with us, or to commune with us, or to work, or to serve, or whatever it is they do. I don't know. That's a perspective I haven't yet taken on and taken a trip in or with. We shall see what comes. And if you can conceive it, you can experience it. But anyway, I was, excuse me, just sitting here quietly, uploading and downloading and being at peace. And I became aware of the importance of being unplugged from so many things in order to be in this space. No radio, no television, no cell phone. And even though my connection to the internet is live right now, it's only uploading a file. Now, this isn't uploading a video, this is another file. What I'm saying, though, is that I'm not going to email. I'm not going here and there to check on this and that, the things I enjoy. I like to watch the price of silver and gold fluctuate. And I watch the value of the dinar in Iraq to see if that shifts into a decent currency that can be used around the world, because I have a few of them. So there's this and that and the other thing, you know, a couple of forums I watch. But I've been warned again and again that if I want to connect to the highest parts of the self, that's a choice that I make. And part of what makes me successful in that choice is letting go of some other things. I received notice in the mail recently that I had neglected to cash one of the monthly checks that I get, and they were willing to reissue it for a limited period of time. And it's an interesting thing being a person who loses checks now and then. I suppose most people won't be able to identify with that very easily. With me, with someone who, you know, I can leave the mail alone for a month quite easily. I have a large mailbox such that, you know, small packages fit in there, and the mailman is quite used to the thing being rather full before I come to collect it. I've mentioned before, I leave the place maybe every 2 or 3 months to go grocery shopping. And, you know, aside from an elderly cousin that I visit sometimes, that's kind of it. So I unplugged from a lot. I guess that's what I'm saying. As the priorities change, as we change, things that were once so important, so critical, things that we kept a very close eye on, such as the cell phone and who called and who messaged and things like that, they fade into oblivion. I mean, they're so non-important they fall off the screen. And I suppose in the midst of the junk mail that I get, sometimes a check will slip in there. I get 2 a month, and I can seldom tell you what the day is except when I'm journaling, because I look at it then. And I can't tell you when those checks come. I don't pay enough attention to care. I don't spend a lot. So anyway, all of that is most unimportant to you, except for the template that it gives. I was envisioning or imagining sharing this with you. And I was seeing, like in the old movies, the operator who has a board, a switchboard before her with lots of lines and little wires that she plugs in to the lines that flash. And if you can imagine the self in this way, that can be helpful. All the things we're paying attention to, all the things that we have going on consciously and subconsciously and otherwise. And then imagine, if you can, let's take it to, instead of chess on a flat chessboard, make it 3D, because you're interdimensional. And so you've got those flashing lights and wires and connections and things across various dimensions. Now you can add to that the various beings and frequencies and energies that are interacting with you, and see these as the lines coming in, calling for your attention. And what will you choose to plug into and what not? Maybe we can imagine meditation as a time of sitting down and unplugging the whole thing. I don't know. Do what you can, though, to unplug from the idea that you're just a body occupying physical space and moving through time. Nothing wrong with it, it's just more limited than what you really are. And with the higher frequencies, our bodies are being changed. Everything's being changed by it. But if we're plugged in to all of the noise and all of the chaos, see, look at it this way. There's a matrix, there's a field of hypnotism out there that wants to keep you kind of drugged, not alert, unaware. And the way you plug into that, first of all, is to listen to the media. It's got that constant buzz and hum going on. That puts you to sleep. The way it puts you to sleep is it limits your perceptions to certain levels and frequencies. So when you add to that the various other distractions that have been provided largely through technology, and so you find the cell phones and the Blackberries and the ways of accessing the internet and the computers and all of it, electronic games and so on. That's a whole level that in my personal life I found, until I unplugged from it, I wasn't content. I wasn't happy. I wasn't tuning into the layers, levels, and aspects of being that I wanted to the extent that I wanted to. And it was a major awakening when I turned off the television. And at first you do it for just a little while, you know. I tried for 2 weeks. Or was it 30 days? I don't remember anymore. I remember kind of having the jitters, feeling a little lost for a while, because there was all that time that we spend with these things that all of a sudden became available to something else. What would I do with it? It was different. And so I tried to use it to remember to center in heart. It will keep you drugged. It's very addictive. And that's why it seems so hard to turn it off, to walk away from it. It manipulates your bioforce field in ways you're not aware of because you're not alert to it. You're only thinking of self as a body. And so as long as we only think of the self as a body, we can be manipulated in many ways and not even really be aware of it. We're not tuned in to our energy force field and occupying it with our awareness. Which is best done by centering in heart. So, it seems there's another level or something that I wanted to share. I'm waiting to see if it comes to me. I seem to be operating on a slower speed here or higher frequency or something. I don't know. So we make the choice. And as we unplug from the miasma, the hypnotic trance and the machinery that's designed to keep that in place, our biology is suddenly freed. And more importantly, our attention is freed so that our awareness can expand. I'm blessed by living out here, not having a job, not having anyone that I live with, to focus on or interact with. So I have the ultimate in peace. And it's more challenging on those days when I'm driving, when I'm in the stores, when I'm doing those things. It takes sometimes an active focusing on heart. And so I'm aware that it's harder when you're out in the midst of things and you're in that stage of your life where you're having to work or feed the kids, and all those kinds of things. It's just harder to be sensitive to these things. But you see, these changes that are going on in me, they're going on in you too. There's nothing special here about this biology. It's all one thing, it's all one. And so I'm reporting from the inside of you. You're shifting too. Your consciousness is shifting. Your awareness is. When the Schumann resonance frequency rises, it doesn't just rise for, white people or black people or Asians or something. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's like they say, the sun shines on the just and the unjust alike. All of this, we're one in this, in the happenings. All of us have equal opportunity to take advantage of things. That doesn't mean we'll make equal choices. Of course we won't. But the opportunity is there for everyone to tune in and to become less certain of who and what you are, so that you're the empty cup. And when the guide or angelic being comes along and taps you on the consciousness with an idea, you might hear it. Be non-attached. Blessings, my friends. Talk to you again soon. If you could imagine on a level with your heart, a huge toroid, a huge field of energy, moving energy, flowing energy, in the shape of a donut, if you will. and you are that. Such that if you close your eyes, you have immediately unplugged from a whole level of stimulus. And if you center roughly in the area of the heart, you may begin to tune in to this huge field that exists around the body. Wherever you go, this goes with you. It's a part of you. It's as much you as the body is. But when we identify with the body, we get used to that, and it becomes a belief. Hello. Let's try out another effect. I think they call this one cotton candy. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Remember, it's just a body. It's not what you are, it's not what I am. If I had to choose an ethnicity of music to prefer, it would be Asian. So we have some of that in the background. Some lovely Chinese music. I'm in a strange space. Once again, and as usual, almost, someplace I haven't been before. It's different. And I don't know if I'll be able to transmit it on to you, but be in heart, you have the best chance from there. Speaking of heart, everyone knows what a toroid or a toroidal field looks like because everyone's eaten a donut. And that's the shape of the field. Now the field has moving energy in it, not the seeming solid substance of a donut. But anyway, as far as the bioelectric or magnetic field that we create or exist within, the heart puts out the most energy, creates the largest field. And so